sweet girl, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're good, hope you're well. It's your girl Lade, and this video is all about this jumbo twist. And we're getting straight right into it, starting off with freshly washed and blow dried hair. I have my braiding hair stretched and prepped. I'm using 2 packs of color 1B for the entire hairstyle. And let's get right into it. I'm parting my hair in 2 sections, starting right behind my ear. Trigger warning, please. I'm doing this completely blind as I do not have a mirror to see the back of my head. So yes, the line is crooked, but we're gonna work with it because that's what we have. Anyways, so I further divided that back into 2, and this is the result. I have 5 twists in total, 2 at the bottom and 3 right there. For the third part, I'm going around my temple. I used my eyebrow arch as a guide on both sides so that they're even and equal. And then after parting that, I parted that into 5 parts. I did freehand first, and then I used my comb to clean the parts up and make sure they're sharp. I know it's going really fast here, but to get your parts as clean and as sharp as possible, you want to take your time with it. To prep my hair for each individual twist, I take some gummy wax and then I apply that to the root of my hair all around the single individual braid, and then I comb that in to make sure there are no knots, no kinks, and everything is as smooth as possible. Then I'm ready to braid the hair. For this twist, I start with the knotless braids method. So I start with braids, knotless braids, and then transition to twist. I find that this helps the twist to be more secure versus if I was to start with twist from the root. So yeah, I feed in the braiding hair and start to braid, but we'll get into more detail on that later. For now, we're still talking about the parts, so let's get back to parting. For the hair that's left, I go straight down the middle and part that into 2, and then I further divide that into 2 sections each to make 4 in total at the top of my head. So in total, we have 14 braids, 5 at the back, 5 in the middle, and 4 at the top. Make sure to just take your time with that part because this is like right in front the top of your head. You want to make sure that's as clean as possible. So I'm taking as much time as I can with this, and once I'm satisfied, we get into. And now for the reason we have all gathered. Before I start any section, I make sure to brush my hair out. Then I take some gummy wax and put that on the tips of my hair. I find that it makes it smoother and makes it blend with the braiding hair better. So I always do that. And then I take the same gummy wax around the perimeter, like the root of my hair, to make sure everything is sleek and laying as flat as possible, and then I comb that out. And at this point, we're ready to put some twists in. This is how much braiding hair I'm using for each individual twist. I divide that into 6 parts. This is how much I divide each section into, and this is all 6 pieces I'm gonna feed in to make 1 twist. So as I already mentioned before, we're starting with knotless braids. So I'm just going to take my own hair, divide into 3 parts, and then start braiding. I braid like 1, 2, and 3, and on 4 I grab my first piece of braiding hair, put one end through, braid, and then attach the second end and braid that around 1 time, attach my second piece, braid one end in before attaching the second end. I find that doing it one end at a time is how I prevent that, you know, that loop, that curve, that bulge. Yeah, that's how I prevent that and make sure it's all looks like it's going smooth in one braid. After feeding the third piece of braiding hair in, it's time to transition into twists. So I bend the hair over, and the middle part I divide into 2 equal parts. Make sure to grab equal parts of the braiding hair and my own natural hair. And then I attach our 4th piece of braiding hair right in the middle there. And then I go ahead and twist. You want to twist the individual strands and then twist the hair. I grab some eco styling gel on my fingers so that everything glides easily. And I just keep twisting the hair. And then at this point, I'm adding the 5th piece of braiding hair. Secure it in the middle and then twist again. We just keep twisting. And before adding our last piece of braiding hair, remember we had 6 pieces, I bring the rest of the hair to the front to make sure everything is the same length. I add that braiding hair in, I twist, and this is what we end up with. After every single twist, I grab my scissors, starting from the end of the braid all the way to the top. I trim away every flyaway from my hair, from the braiding hair. Anything that is out of place has to go. So I just trim. It makes it so much easier doing it after every single twist versus waiting all the way till the end. And now we're going to do a second twist together from beginning to end again, just to make sure we're on the same page, okay? So grab the gummy wax around the roots, comb it in, make sure everything is smooth. Divide the hair, my natural hair, into 3 parts for braids and start braiding. You go around once, twice, and then 3. On 3, we add a braiding hair. One end, you braid it in before taking the other end and add that in. And then second piece of braiding hair, loop one end in, braid, and then combine the second. And then third piece of braiding hair, add that, loop one end in, braid, and then add the other end, braid, and we transition to twist at this point. So bend it over and then divide the middle braid into 2, taking equal parts braiding hair and equal parts my natural hair. And then we add our 4th braid, fit it in, secure it in the middle, and twist. Before twisting and even while twisting, you want to make sure you always have a firm grip on the braiding hair and your natural hair. And then you want to roll the hair like so before twisting. Roll and twist, roll and twist, roll and twist. It gets faster as you go along. I'm fitting in the 5th braiding hair. Roll, twist, roll, twist, roll, twist. So you roll each individual braid in your hand and then twist it. That is how you get like juicy jumbo twists. Not even just jumbo, like twists in general. That's how you get them to look like juicy and really nice. So you want to roll, twist, roll, twist. And these are the braids all done. I was very pleased, but I'm adding some curly pieces into it. You can totally skip this step. I just wanted the boho vibes, so I'm just adding a few curly pieces on, like 3 strands on each side. Nothing too serious, and this is how it turned out. I was very happy, like very pleased with the final result. But I decided I wanted to curl the tips, but I do not have flexi rods, so I'm just using a makeup brush. I'm just gonna roll the ends, like I roll them in my finger before wrapping them around the brush securely. And then I'm gonna take an elastic band to secure that before going ahead to dip that in really hot water. Dip that in hot water for about 30 seconds, pat it dry, and then remove the brush. And this is what we're left with after separating it. See how curly the ends are? That's exactly what I wanted. But it was at this point I totally and completely messed this up, like colossally messed it up. I had absolutely no business dipping and dunking this hair in hot water like that. Look at what I ended up with. A soggy mess. Like, look at this side, look at this twist, and then look at this rubbish. I was so mad at myself. Don't make the same mistake I did. I tried to save it by like blow drying each individual twist, but it did not work. Okay, look at the curls on this. Like, I stupidly went and dunked the curly pieces into. Look at this. Look at what I ended up with. Don't be like me, please. Lesson learned is this jumbo twist does not need to be dipped in hot water. I cut off the whatever this was because these aren't curly pieces at this point. Like, look how bad I messed it up. Look at my natural hair now showing and like all frizzy through the braids. I was so mad. After calming myself down, I tried to do everything I can to save this side of the hair, but it was unsavable. I ended up having to redo the entire side, like that entire side. Imagine how angry I was. Anyways, I made it. I did everything, and this is the final result. We have our boho jumbo twist. I absolutely love how this hairstyle ended up coming out. I hope you love it as much as I do. I tried to make this tutorial as beginner friendly as possible, and I hope that you found it to be so. I hope you try out this hairstyle. That's all from me for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and until next time, stay beautiful, girl. Bye.
Well, recently I just don't care.